Nobody taught you the rules, and yet you know every single one of them. The moment you push open that door, something shifts. Your brain switches into a mode that has no name, but every human on Earth recognizes instantly. Public toilet mode. You scan the row of cubicles. One is taken. You already know, without being told, without ever discussing this with another living soul, that you do not take the one directly next to it. You walk past it. You take the one at the far end. Obviously. But here's the weird part. The person already in there did exactly the same thing when they arrived. They also skipped the middle. They also went to the far end. Which means you are both, right now, silently following a rule that does not exist anywhere in writing, has never been enforced by anyone, and yet carries the same weight as actual law. You settle in. And now the unspoken performance begins. If someone else enters, you go quiet. Not because you were making noise. You weren't. But you go quieter. You become so still you could be mistaken for a coat. Your breathing slows. You are a ghost. A very patient ghost who just needed a minute. It gets worse. If the new arrival takes the cubicle next to yours, the one you left specifically so this would not happen, you feel personally betrayed. You didn't make the rules. You're just deeply offended they weren't followed. And the sounds. Nobody acknowledges the sounds. That is also a rule. Whatever happens in a public toilet stays in a public toilet. You will pass that person at the sink 30 seconds later and make eye contact in the mirror, and you will both smile politely as though you have never met. This is somehow considered normal. But the sink is its own arena entirely. You wash your hands. You know you're supposed to wash your hands. You've always washed your hands. But the moment someone else walks in, you wash them slightly more thoroughly, more deliberately. You want them to know you're one of the good ones. You scrub like you're preparing for surgery. You have never once in your life washed your hands this carefully at home. And then there's the dryer situation. The hand dryer is extremely loud. You know this. Everyone knows this. And yet there is a brief moment every single time, where you consider whether now is a socially acceptable moment to turn it on. Because someone is on the phone outside, or the room just got very quiet, or there are only two of you, and it feels like an announcement. You turn it on anyway. The noise is enormous. You stare at your hands like this is all very normal. Here's the strangest part of all of this. You have been following these rules your entire adult life. You have never broken them. You have never questioned them. And if someone did break them, if someone walked in and cheerfully took the cubicle right next to yours when 6 others were free, you would think about it for the rest of the week. Maybe longer. Because underneath all of it, these rules aren't really about toilets. They're about the invisible agreement humans make every single day to pretend that certain things aren't happening, to give each other just enough space to feel like a person, and to perform a version of dignity in places specifically designed to remind you that dignity is complicated. You didn't invent the rulebook. Nobody did. It just appeared, fully formed, shared silently between 8 billion people who have never once sat down to discuss it. And right now, somewhere in the world, someone is standing at a row of urinals, staring at the wall with the focused intensity of someone defusing a bomb, following every rule perfectly, wondering why they know all of this. Just like you.